trying to find the reasons you won't.
Hi beautifuls, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new. So today's video is going to be a bit of a different one. Yeah, I had different plans of what this week's post was going to be, but ultimately it ended up being what it is. Yeah, I feel like I should give a little bit of a background to this, but as you guys know, I've been working on my competition style nail art for the Alice in Wonderland theme that I created. We were going strong for a good 2 weeks. I got through like 2.5 nails and I was like, okay, this is looking nice. And then it just kind of plummeted because as the picture was coming together, I was realizing things just wasn't adding up the way I wanted them to. So I made the conscious decision just to stop and reassess and reattempt it. And yeah, but I did not want to get rid of all of the footage that I made in the process of me doing the nails. So I thought it would be a little bit better to still compile it into a video and just acknowledge my mistakes. Today's video is going to be pretty much that. It's just me acknowledging my mistakes and utilizing the footage that I created for like a good 2 weeks. So love you guys, and I will see you in the video.
Okay, so we're switching to voiceover. So I just want to start off by, yeah, I'm just gonna be harping on myself this entire video, but respectfully, because yeah, respectfully, I'm gonna get on myself. So the first thing that I'm doing right now is measuring the guidelines for my tips, which I have, like, I do this regardless of the steps. I just shouldn't have done it right now, because I still had the whole background of the design to do. And yeah, I don't know if it would have been better to do the outline work and then do the design stuff around the outline work, or if it would have been better to do the background first and then do the outline work and stuff like that on the background. I'm still debating that to this day because I don't know which would be better. But I shouldn't have done this. At this moment, I was thinking this is a mistake, because you'll see me in a few clips cover it up with some paint. So I'm using my full painting collection. I believe it's the paint color 45. Let me double check. Yeah, D Gel Full Painting 45, which is a beautiful teal blue. And it was almost perfect for the background color that I made for the design. So even what I'm doing right here ended up being something that I changed along the lines, because like an idiot, I did the blue color first and it became such a pain to try to cover it up with the checkerboard, the swirly checkerboard print that I have in the background, as I'm attempting right here with RuPaul's Drag Race playing in the background. Yeah, so I end up hating this because it was just not looking clean. And me, above everything else, I want a level of like neatness and like clean, like what's not clean? I can't even think of the word, but like a bit of just like neatness with my sets, and that just wasn't giving. Like it wasn't neat. Like I didn't like it. It was, the color was uneven, the white was uneven, the black. I outlined the plaid in black. Like what? So I end up scrapping all of those nails all together, and then I was like, okay, we're gonna grab new tips and we're gonna lay down the white first, which is smart. If you're doing plaid, lay down your white first, and then, not plaid, if you're doing checkerboard, lay down your white first, and then go ahead and draw the black checkerboard. That's common sense, but I don't know what I was on. Maybe I was just a little too distracted by RuPaul. So I really, really loved the checkerboard now, and I was feeling myself because it came out really well and they connected beautifully. If only I would have kept this momentum, because as I carried on, I just became more and more unsure about what the hell I was doing. And I think like what really was a bit difficult for me, like now that I'm sitting back watching this video, is I realized that the first ever like, yeah, I'm painting a painting on a nail. Like the first detailed artwork that I created was the Ponyo set, and that was on a flat, like on flat full cover nail tips that only have one curve. So it's flat going horizontally, but it's curved going vertically. And that was the only thing I had to worry about, was that one curve. But with these tips are curved not only vertically, but also horizontally. And also another fact is that they're so freaking long. They're long. They're so long. And I don't know why. I was like, I don't know. In my mind, like going from my iPad, taking the sketch from my iPad and freehanding it on the tips, it was just, the proportions were off. Even with the grid that I add on, it was just off. And I think I was truly struggling with that. So what I am making the conscious decision to do is, instead of putting these tips on these extra long ones, I'm going to put them on the same tips that I had the Ponyo sketch on. And I'm going to do it like that. And then I'm just going to work my way up to these really long tips. So instead of just like going straight at it with these really long freaking tips, I'm gonna work my way up. So on AliExpress, I had found some, like, I don't know if it's medium or long, I won't know until I get them, of pretty much the same tips like this, where it's curved vertically and curved horizontally. And then I had bought some extra one of these so I can have some of all the same size rather than this different sized one. Because that was also another problem. Because they were all the same, different sizes, oftentimes when it was time to put them together to see the picture connect, the tips would go underneath the other tip because they all fit under one another because they're all different sizes. And I was struggling with that, and it was messing up my proportion, because every time that I would put the tip next to the other tip, instead of it just banging up to the side, not going anywhere because they're even, it will slide underneath the other tip. And it was just so much, and I was getting so overwhelmed. Like, I feel like a lot of it was technical. I don't think I really had a lot of trouble with the design, sort of say, like copying the design. Needless to say, the way that I do it, I feel like it's kind of foolproof. Yes, I'm a little bit off on my proportions here and there, but that's just a me thing, me not knowing how anatomy works or how to properly place something. Has nothing to do with the technique, because I'm sure if someone else who is probably has more drawing experience than me was to take my method and do it on tips, it'll work for them. But because it's me who is like, I'm like, the books that's like something for dummies 101. Yeah, I'm the dummy. So yeah, as regardless of that, I think like a lot of things played into the fact of me having a hard time with these tips. I don't necessarily think it was the drawing per se, because if you look at the process of me actually drawing it, you'll notice that like some of my sketches aren't half bad, especially it's just like the little details that was getting mumble jumbled and mixed up. So yeah, that's why I'm not discouraged too much. I just think I bit off a little bit more than what I could chew with the size and the curvature of these tips. However, I'm gonna try again, because what bad bitches try again. Bad bitches try again. And I'm gonna keep trying until I get it right. Like, if you guys watched my last video, like, I'm doing whatever it takes. I will rise to the top of my expectations. So that was the background fully done. I did I love the checkerboard up at the top, and I love the blue and the orange because blue and orange complementary colors. So it's always gonna hit color theory T. And then now on my iPad, I'm just pretty much copying the lines. This was also another thing that was hard because for some reason, I don't know if it's how I took the picture or maybe I just need to like straight up digitally scan this picture. But when it came down for me outlining the line, like copying the lines, it was way off, way off, way unbelievably off. And I'm like, why? Because of the curvatures of the nails, because it's curving vertically as well as horizontally. It was just, it's like the technical side of it, not so much the art side of it, just the technical side of me being able to easily draw something on these tips that was fudging me up. That's why, like, I know that there are correct ways that someone do the guideline sketch for character art and things like that, but I'm not paying someone $13,000 to learn that. I'm just gonna keep messing up until I figure out how to do it, because that's T. I'm not like, I've seen, like, I follow some creators on Instagram, and yeah, pretty much on Instagram. There's not a lot of creators here on YouTube that does character art. It's not a lot of them. And if they do character art, their YouTube channel is like a subline sideline thing, and their Instagram and their short form media sites or profiles are pretty much their main thing. But I digress. Yeah, they're charging easily anywhere between, especially here in Europe, like €1,000, €1,000, or somewhere between like €500 or up. And I'm like, I'm not paying that. Like, you guys realize how much nail stuff I can buy with €500? Which, I mean, I get it. Like, charge your worth for your technique. I'm sure it will get to a certain point to where I nail this technique to where it's not profitable or sane enough for me not to charge for it. But I'm not charging people $500. You like, do people not, like, I don't get it. Which, I mean, charge your worth. Charge your worth. But babe, on top of the amount of money that you get from social media, you know what, I don't even want to go there. Charge your worth. At the end of the day, charge your worth. Because yeah, if I end up coming up with a technique that works for me, because I spill all of my business for free, I might post it on YouTube for free before I decide to market off of it. But if I ever do come out with one, you guys, it will never be $500. It won't even be $300. If anything, I'll probably, depending on the course and the advancedness of the course, it'll be anywhere between $50 to $150. Because $150, I would even say $200, because I would spend $200 on a nail course. I have spent $200 on a nail course. But once you start to get into that 300, 500, 600, 700, like, Lord have to the mercy. You better have been the one that invented nails. Like, you are stepping forth saying, my family invented the practice of nails for me to pay $500 to $1,000 on your nail course. However, like, if I had the funds to spend, there is one nail course that, regardless of the price, I would pay. Yeah, but only one. And that's because, like, I truly love his work, and to just learn from him, not even just to take the techniques just to learn from this person, I would be so honored. And literally only one person. And that's pretty much it. And that's only because like I've been following him for so long and I know his track record. Like, you guys, make things worth your money. That's pretty much what I'm coming down to. Make things worth your money. And me, if I somehow magically figure out how to make this thing work, which I have time. To be honest, I've only been doing this since 2023. So I have time. And consider to what my stuff looked like in 2023, baby, I've come far. I've come really far. So I still have time, you know? I still have time. But yeah, if I ever somehow figure out how to do this, you guys, I would not be, if I decide to create an online course and charge for it, unless I'm supplying you with supplies, there's no reason for it to be freaking $1,000. Like, unless I am supplying you with supplies, unless you're having everything in the collection for you to be able to complete the course, or everything that I use in my collection. So for example, like, so you guys know I have my full painting gel collection. Unless I'm providing that collection along with my course, there's no reason for you to be spending $1,000. There's none. But at the same time, I mean, charge your worth. So, like, if you believe your worth is worth $1,000, like, if you got a skill that you're like, you cannot learn this from anywhere else, and it is hard, I make it look easy, but it's hard for you to replicate, go ahead. But baby, art is only reinvented, is never invented. So all the techniques that nail techs are using, the baseline of those techniques is art. Regular painting skills, regular sketching skills. And you can hop on YouTube any day and figure out the correct way to measure and proportionize a human face. And then once you figure out the proportions of a human face, then baby, you got it. Clear as moon. So remember that. Unless it is truly worth your money, like, unless you support this creator and you truly want to learn from them and learn their techniques, not just so you can easily get something or quickly get something or bypass the work that it takes to get something on your own, yeah, go ahead and spend that money on that course. But make sure it's worth your while. Especially if it's in the range of $500 to $1,000. Make sure it's worth your while. They better be not only giving you the tools that you need to create the designs, but they also need to be, I don't know, taking you to your first damn nail competition. Because the one person that I would love to learn from, he does that. He gives you, when you sign up for their course, not only do you get all of the tools, so his brush collection, the painting gel collection that he uses, also the watercolor paints that he uses, you get all of those, a cute little case that it comes into, and he takes you to your first, like, the class takes you to your first nail competition in Vietnam. So he does all of that. That's included in his course. And of course he has some that are like cheaper, but you don't learn, like, it's designated things that you learn. So that would be worth my while, because I'm spending a good amount of money and I'm getting the amount of money that I, like, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm getting what I paid for. There we go. So, wow, I just spoke about absolutely nothing that was going on in this video. But you will see this, I don't know if I showed a lot of clips of me just pausing and staring at what I'm doing, but that's pretty much like, it's off. And I don't quite know how or why. Her face I was quite proud of, but these damn ruffles, these ruffles were sending me. They were sending me. And I, like, right then and there, I wanted to erase the ruffles and do something else. But I was like, oh, no, you can't do that. You put the ruffles in there for a reason. You wanted to challenge yourself. So we're going to keep the ruffles and you're going to just keep trying. And then another one was the lilies, because the lilies sat on such a weird part of the design. So two of the lilies were, majority of the artwork of them are on the crack between two separate nails. So it was only one lily that was directly, like, full face on one nail. The other ones were in between two nails. And it was just throwing me off because I could not get it to look right. For some reason, and this is so weird to me, but with these extra curved tips, you kind of have to, like, ignore the side wall of the tip. Just so things, like, flow as a picture, you kind of have to ignore it. But I'm like, but as you move and turn the tip, you will see where you just ignored it. So I think that's why it's important to do the nails that are all the same size so that they fit really close together to one another, and it closes up that gap really well, because then when you turn, all the nails are even in an arch. However, with the way that I had it, did you guys see the way I threw that down? But the way that I have it, the frustration. Because they're all different sizes, when you turn it, you can see where I decided not to take the drawing all the way through. But my frustrations was really hitting the mark here, and I just did not know what to do to fix it. And in hindsight, it does not look bad. It literally doesn't. But it wasn't up to where I wanted to be. I really wanted to square, like, hone in on my proportions, because I have such a hard time with proportions when it comes to my design. So I really, really wanted to hone in and just make the sketch as good as possible. But it just wasn't working. It just wasn't working for me. So yeah, I still carried on. I got almost finished the fourth nail before I was just like, freak it. I'm over it. I think I'm talking to myself like, I am over this design. I am literally over it. But when you look at it like this, you're like, it doesn't look half bad. Yeah, I know, but I don't know why in my head I was like, this is the most ugliest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And even Chester, the cat, Chester, I don't fucking know his name. He was weird, because not only is he on two of the smallest freaking nails, but he's also, like, angled weird. But he's a simple character. If I was to draw him on paper, I'm done in a millisecond, because he was an easy draw. But for some reason, how I have him positioned and the tips itself, I was struggling. Yeah. So that was a good, 23 minutes of me expressing everything that went wrong. I am going to try again. I'm going to keep trying until I get it right. Even if I'm trying with a whole different design, I'm going to keep trying. And that's the most important part of this, is that I'm not giving up. I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to keep trying, and I'm going to keep trying. You guys are going to see the rise of an A1 nail artist right here, okay? And mark it down in your calendars today, okay? You guys will see the rise of me. I will get this. And when I get it, I'll explain it to you. But yeah, I really, like, even though it brought me so much frustration, I was having fun, putting my little movie in the background, listening to music, and just taking my time in painting. I really was enjoying myself. Even though it didn't quite turn out the way I wanted it to, I was still enjoying myself. Anyways, I love you guys so much. We are coming towards the end of the video. I probably am not going to do dedicated videos like this for this design. It'll probably be in like a mentions of another video because I have some video requests from all of you for like videos that you want to see from me. So of course I am more than happy to supply those videos. So that's pretty much what I'm going to be moving on to. And just here and there, I will pop in and show you guys this. So definitely follow me on Instagram and on TikTok because that's where my short form content is, where I'm really going to be demonstrating this, especially on Instagram. And yeah, it's going to be a bit of a journey, and I just want to take my time and enjoy it and not feel pressured or not feel pressured to be perfect or to make things right. Yeah, I love you guys so much. Thank you for your support. We are growing steadfast, and it makes me happy every day that I wake up and there's more of you beautiful people subscribing to me. Not me breaking it in half. But I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching. And please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
about this.